Good morning, students. Today we're going to continue our discussions on second language learning method as part of material in Psycholinguistics class. Last week we have discussed about traditional method consisting of 4 GTM, NM or natural method, direct method, and audiolingual method. Today we're going to discuss about offbeat method. Why these methods are called as offbeats? Because these methods are rising in popularity and also falling in popularity. The method consists of 4. The first is Suggestopedia. This method is about suggesting students and giving advice to students on creating positive image about English. So what is aimed in this method is that students must not have the mental block and students must be receptive. As you can see, if you do not like English, it's hardly for you to accept English as knowledge. So here, the job of teacher is just like a magician or someone who gives the suggestions, that giving a motivation to show that English is easy. The second method is cognitive method. In cognitive method, it's about activating mental process. So in cognitive method, the student is triggered and filled with some cognitive knowledge. Then later, students are asked to practice and produce by themselves. So the difference here with the audiolingual method is, in audiolingual method, they focus on creating habit. The students are thrilled to repeat and repeat. But here, students is given some knowledge that they have to preserve as a cognitive code. Then students must be able to practice in a communicative context, in situational context. Then the students are asked to be able to produce and use the language by themselves. So starting from the teacher centers, then it goes to student center. So here in cognitive code, the teacher already create a systematic materials based on the needs of the teachers think about the students. The third offbeat method is silent way. From the title, the word silent means that the students must be more active than the teacher. The students say as little as possible. Because the point here, students must be the center of learning. The students must be able to control what they want to produce. So students have very wide opportunity to decide what they are going to talk about. So we can decide that the focus of this method is mostly on speaking. But unfortunately, there is less teacher control in deciding the materials about what will the students next talking about. That's why the development of the students' language in a certain cognitive level is somehow quite slow. The fourth offbeat method is community language learning. There is a word community, means that the teacher and students belongs to a certain community, that they have to talk together, they have to share anything just like they are talking like to the neighbor. So there are, of course, much talks in mother tongues, because some students are not hindered with the thinking about that they have to speak in English, but it's a free talks. So the job of the teacher here is about translating students' difficulties. Then later, after teachers give the suggestions on what students should speak after the translating the difficult words, students must repeat what the teacher say. Since the teacher wants in later communications, the students will not have any further difficulties in speaking those expressions. So the job here, teacher is also part of community. They have the same level with students in community. So all of those methods mostly are developing students confidence. So somehow, like in Suggestopedia, the teacher tried to avoid students' anxiety because thinking too much about English is so difficult. Then in silent way also, the teacher also do not give a big burden for students to speak in English all the time. but the students try to give a freedom for students to share anything in English, depends on their interests. And in community language learning also, the teacher try to place themselves in a similar situations or similar portions and positions to the students to avoid student anxiety. And in cognitive code, there is what is called as triple P steps that consists of presentations, practice, and production, which means that students already been trained by teacher through presentations. When teacher explains something, then students is given the freedom to practice by themselves. Then later, students were given opportunity to produce without the interventions of the teacher. So that's all our discussions about the offbeat methods. So these methods somehow not really too popular, but also not too popular. And maybe some of the teachers still mix some of these methods with the traditional methods, because the teacher also think about the situations in class, which is very in different settings. That's all. Thank you. See you later. Stay psycho. Stay healthy.